Welcome to your third Shape Up coaching lesson for Diamonds. After listening to this short recording and listening to the Shape Up subconscious audio recording, Life is on My Side, that goes with it, every day for 1 week, you're going to know exactly how to shrink your fear of loss monster, which is right now creating a lot of stress and problems in your life. Don't feel bad though. Everyone on the planet has this fear of loss in play, to some degree every day. And this pesky fear, it hinders our ability to do relationships well and drives some pretty unbalanced behaviour. Now, fear of loss, it's the angry, frustrated, disappointed feelings you get whenever things aren't the way you want them to be. When you don't get what you want, you lost out. Fear of loss happens when you feel mistreated, when you're taken from, when you're unappreciated or robbed, when you get cut off in traffic, when the kids mess up that house, when you buy something and it breaks, when you feel taken advantage of. All of these, they're loss experiences. Fear of loss basically makes you feel unsafe in the world, and it keeps you worried all the time. Fear of loss makes you want to control others and situations because you need everything that certain way to feel safe and calm in the world. When you're in an unbalanced state because you feel that fear of loss, some pretty bad behavior can show up. You can become controlling, bossy, dominating, protective, or even defensive. You might be on guard all the time against people who might mistreat you. The problem is, you're never really happy when you live like this, and you can't create healthy relationships when you're in this state. In this lesson, we're going to teach you a simple technique for eliminating your fear of loss, so you can have less stress, get offended less often, and enjoy your life more. It's easier than you think. The secret lies in a tweaking of a foundational belief you have about the nature of life. Remember in the last lesson we helped you change your foundation belief about human value from changeable to that being unchangeable, that you have the same value all the time, and that lessened your fear of failure? Now this time we're going to focus on a belief about how life and the universe work. When something bad or negative happens in your life, and you get some kind of circumstance that you don't like or a situation you didn't want, how do you choose to see that situation? 1, do you see the situation as random chaos or bad luck? This just happens and there's no purpose or meaning? Or, number 2, do you see it as an experience that this is in your life for a reason, that maybe there is some purpose and meaning to it being here? Which mindset do you think subconsciously shows up for you more of the time? The idea that life, the universe and your journey are random chaos, or the idea that there is some kind of order in the universe and each experience is here for you to teach you something. Many people choose to see big life events as here for a reason, and most small everyday events as random and meaningless. We want to encourage you to choose a new policy on the nature of life and to choose to see that everything that happens to you does have some kind of meaning and purpose. We encourage this perspective because it reduces stress, worry, fear and loss. If you subconsciously believe that the universe is chaos and in disorder, and that because people can choose whatever behaviour they want, they have the ability to take from you or even ruin your journey in every moment, you'll have a lot of stress in your life. You will be offended and defensive faster, and you'll have a tendency to be bossy and controlling. You could also be picky or judgmental or difficult to live with because you're constantly trying to protect yourself from everyone and their chaos. If you view life as random chaos, everything's a threat. You always feel unsafe. Does this sound like you? Are you constantly worried about what could happen or bothered when things don't go the way you wanted? Do you fear losing opportunities, losing money or losing time? Do you fear being taken from or treated poorly? Or do you get bent out of shape when people don't see the things the way you do? This fear of loss creates a lot of bad relationship behaviour too, because love can't happen when your focus is on fear. You can't do fear, stress and irritation and love at the same time. You know this. Fear and love are like darkness and light. They can't exist in the same place at the same time. If you're going to have healthy relationships where you're showing up as caring and thoughtful of other people, you've got to trust them and they have to trust you. You can't see life and people as the enemy or a constant threat. So what we do is we recommend a new policy to be created about the way you see the nature of life. We recommend you choose to see the universe as having perfect order, not chaos. Choose to see the universe as a wise teacher who works with your choices every day to co-create with you the perfect classroom life journey for you. You can choose to see the universe as on your side all the time. And constantly it's conspiring to educate and to enable you to grow with interesting lessons, the perfect day for you being created every day. You can choose to see that the people who are in your life are perfect teachers instead of threats. But sometimes they teach you by pushing your buttons and taking from you. So you get the chance to see your unbalanced state and work on it. You can choose to see every experience you have as the perfect lesson. This is here for a reason. And that reason is always here to make you grow and help you become a better person. If you see loss experiences this way, they aren't really losses. If an experience is here to serve you, it's never a loss. Seeing life in the universe this way will change the amount of stress and fear you have in your life. Changing your core belief about the nature of life and choosing to see it as a place of order, love, learning, growth and purpose. Choose to see it as a big classroom. Life's on your side. You don't have to do this, of course. You can continue to see life as against you, and you can battle with stress and fear and frustration every day. But the thousands of people that we've worked with who have heard these lessons before have found that this mind shift changes everything. It makes their life and relationships easier and more enjoyable. The truth is you have to choose a belief about the nature of life in your journey. If you don't consciously choose a belief, you will choose one subconsciously. And it's probably to see life as random and threatening, which will continue to enable you to be stressed and afraid. But you get to decide, what way do you want to live? Let us show you the difference. Imagine that you let a family member borrow a gadget and they brought it back and it was slightly broken. This could trigger fear of loss, make you feel mistreated, taken from. Your ego and unbalanced side comes out in response to this. It encourages thoughts about how rude and inconsiderate that person was. And the more you think about how wrong that was, the bigger the fear of loss would become. Your unbalanced side would feel very justified, getting more and more angry and bent out of shape over what happened. Obviously, what they did was wrong, and you're right. The question now is how you're going to handle it. Now, an unbalanced response might be to yell at him, use strong, harsh language, insist that the gadget get repaired by him now. You might even get pretty lengthy in your peace of mind and let him have it. But this immature, angry, fear-based response, it's not the real you. It's your unbalanced side showing up because of fear of loss. But the good news is it's not your only option. Now, some shapes that are more people pleasers might do nothing. They might say nothing about it because they just want to avoid the conflict and they're scared to make a fuss or speak their truth. This is also an unbalanced fear response, but this one's more about fear of failure. Or your third option would be you can get back into a balanced state where your good can really show up. You can choose to trust that this experience is your perfect classroom today, and that other person's perfect classroom too. You could choose to believe there's a great growth opportunity on both sides, and that this, like all your experience, and is here to stretch you and make you stronger, wiser, and more loving. Usually this perspective makes you want to rise to this occasion and handle this situation with maturity and wisdom and love. Seeing this as your perfect lesson prompts you to be your best, instead of letting your ego or unbalanced state behave badly. Now, still talk to that other person, but this time you'll be approaching them not on your high horse and the good guy talking down to the bad one, but you'll see that person as the equal, as having the same value as you. You might even ask some questions first about how it happened and did you notice that this piece was broken? You might even ask him if he's open to the possibility of, did this happen when you were borrowing it? You might ask if he'd be open to fixing it. Most of the time when you handle things in a respectful way and you're willing to listen to the other person's point of view instead of just talking, people respond with respect and kindness back. So this lesson is just the beginning. We know that changing this way and the way that you see life, it's a big shift. It's going to take some time. It's okay. This is why we equip you with the tools to get you there. We put together a powerful Shape Up audio recording that you can access from the app, and if you'll listen to the Life is on My Side recording 3 times a day for a week, it's going to help you change this belief and lessen your fear of loss. People who listen to these recordings daily, they find that their fear of loss gets smaller and smaller, and this can happen for you too. You'll also find that you have a lot less stress, and you don't have as much of a need to control. You can become more flexible and easygoing, which will make all of your relationships better. After you finish lesson 3, there's still 3 more Shape Up lessons to go. The lesson number 4 is going to teach you our amazing choice formula to help you easily get back into a balanced state. But you can't start lesson 4 until you've listened to the Life is on My Side subconscious audio recording for a week. Make sure you also keep practicing choosing to see your value as unchangeable, as we taught you in lesson 2. You have the power to determine your own value and not let anyone or any situation make you feel like you're not good enough ever again. Go to your portal now and listen to the Shape Up audio recording, Life is on My Side.